how to sign out of a frozen PPS session. This video only demonstrates the signing out process of the hosted session on a Windows PC, but the process is very similar on a Mac or a tablet, and there are specific keyboard shortcuts for each different type of device that we will go through at the end. If you ever find that your PPS hosted session is unresponsive at any time, then you will need to restart it so that you can connect to the server again. Restarting your computer or simply closing the connection to PPS won't resolve your frozen session. It needs to be fully signed out and you will need to log into the server again. So if the system stops responding or is completely frozen on the screen or you just have a black screen, then you will need to sign out. At this point, I will just mention a few tips and tricks that you're able to use so that signing out of the hosted session is used as a last resort. It is important to note that when you sign out of the session, anything unsaved will be lost. So if your session is frozen, just have a quick look to see if you have a calendar window open. The system won't allow you to move to anything else if the calendar is open on the screen. So if it is, just to select a date and your system should respond again. Another common issue that we see is a hosted session where just a blank screen is available. Often when this happens, the user has tried to minimize PPS, but has minimized the program within the hosted session instead. If you ever need to minimize PPS to get back to your own desktop, just minimize it from the top bar and not the controls in the right-hand corner. The same goes for closing the session. Don't close PPS from the X in the right-hand corner, but rather sign out fully by going to File and Exit, and this will sign you out of your PPS and disconnect you from the server. It is important to note here that this method of signing out of PPS will only work if your session is in full screen. If it is, then you will see the blue bar along the top of the session like this. These settings are controlled within the remote desktop icon. You may also come across another common message when you're using the hosted system and think that your session is frozen because you can't get past this specific message where it says switch to. If you see this message, it will most likely mean that you have tried to open a letter template or create a letter activity associated to a Word document, or you might have tried to open a report in Excel. Due to the permissions that you have when you're connected to our secure server, you won't be able to see the programs that are opening up along the taskbar to show you that your letter or your report in Kingsoft has opened. So if you see this message saying switch to, you should just need to hold down Alt on your keyboard and then select the Tab key, and this will bring forward the program with any related prompts that have opened up behind PPS where your letter or your report has opened. This will also rely on your hosted session being in full screen. But if you do see the black screen or your session is truly unresponsive, then you can sign out and log back in again. On a Windows PC, you will need to select Ctrl, Alt, and End all together on your keyboard, and this should then bring up the screen where you can select to sign out. You will then be fully signed out of the session, connecting you to the server, and you can log in again. Similar keyboard shortcuts will be used on other devices. For example, on a Mac, hold down Function, Control, Option, and Delete together, and you should then see the message to sign out. On an iPad or iPhone, you can select Control, Alt, and Delete, and you should see the blue screen where you can sign out. And very similarly, on an Android device, select Control, Alt, and Delete, and you'll be able to sign out. We do hope that these steps will help you if you ever have a frozen session when using PPS, but if you have any issues or queries, please contact our support team by sending an email to support@rushcliffe.com. Thank you for watching.